to a brand new episode of the Riff Rundown. Hope this is finding all of you doing well this weekend. My name is Petrilli, here with my friends at Fishman for a brand new episode of the Riff Rundown. Today's episode is pre-recorded. I am gigging this weekend, and I can't believe in the 4 years that I've been doing this that I haven't taught Ziggy Stardust, so we're going to be learning that today. So have your acoustic guitar in standard tuning. Really, really fun one, and as always, if you guys are enjoying these lessons, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Really does help me out a lot. And if you want to check out all the cool Fishman gear that I use in these lessons, including the RS Spectrum DI, it is a mainstay in my acoustic shows and tours. I've been using it for over a decade, and I absolutely love it. So link down below, you can check all that out. And many of you ask how you can support me for the lessons that I do here on a weekly basis on YouTube. I just started a Patreon page. It's really awesome, great community. Would love to have you there, so you could check that out as well. Okay, so enough business. Before we get started, you guys know I like to ask questions, so please let me know where you are tuning in from and your favorite acoustic guitar that you have ever played, or a dream acoustic guitar. Put it in the comments. I want to see it. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. Ziggy Stardust by the awesome David Bowie. So here we go. All right, so this is such a fun song. Can you tell I love to play it? Such a great one. Let's go ahead and get started with that iconic intro, that main riff. It's so fun. It's chordal. It's great. It's catchy. It's melodic. Let's get to it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start with a strong G chord or a G5. Either way, it's gonna sound great. So I'll give you both options. So what we're gonna do here, as far as like just a nice pure G major, G, B, and D, the 1, 3, and the 5 that build this major chord, we're gonna do here first 4 fingers, all right? So we're gonna get our second finger on the G note, okay, 3rd fret of the E string, 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, D as in dog, pinky finger on G, G as in go, 3rd fret of the high E string, 1st finger on B, 2nd fret of the A string. So that's a regular G chord, which sounds nice and sparkly and all that stuff. When Mick Ronson is playing this on electric, it's just a nice big G5 chord. The only difference with a G5 and a G is the omittance of the B note. So how you would do that is just lift your 1st finger out of the way, okay, mute that A string, and play through all of those strings. Minimal difference here. There's G, and there's G5. Okay, so it depends if you want to play the B note or not, okay? And you let that ring and you mute it right away. So, and how we do that? This side of the hand. And just mute, okay? So we don't want that sustaining out too much. Then what we're gonna do here, and I'm playing it this way because it makes that descending like C major part a little bit easier. How we're gonna do this, so it's a D to a D sus4, and we're gonna do that a couple of times. So here's an easier version to play this. You're gonna get these first 3 fingers. Okay, so your 1st finger, placing that on the A note, 2nd fret of the G string, 2nd finger, 2nd fret of the high E string, that's F sharp, and then your 3rd finger on D as in dog, 3rd fret of the B string, okay? So you're gonna strum from the D string downward, and it's gonna be a downstroke when you play a D sus4, all we're doing there, that F sharp, we're gonna turn it into a G, okay? So with the pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the high E string, got it? Just like that, you can totally do it. So from there, that D sus, to me it feels more comfortable if it's an upstroke, like that. So we're gonna do that a couple times. So let's do that together, slowly, okay? Okay, on the final pass, strike that D note by itself on the B string, okay? So nice and slowly here. Okay, now with that G or G5. Let's do that again. Again, a little faster. So just like that. So you can play it there, or how Mick Ronson did it on electric guitar is he did it as a bar chord. Okay, so if you're playing with the band and someone else is doing the acoustic part up here, you can play that D and D sus4 just as, it's gonna sound just as good and it's the same 3 notes, okay? But we could do it this way. So if you wanna play it the way the Mick did, 1st finger and 3rd finger and pinky finger is what you're gonna need. So 1st finger goes across the 5 bottom string, so the A string through the high E string at the 5th fret. Okay, so the tip of that 1st finger should be on the D note on the 5th fret of the A string. From there, your 3rd finger is going to cover, okay, 3 strings, but you can do this, okay? 7th fret of the D string, G string, and the B string. So if we are talking notes, what is that? That's gonna be an A, that's gonna be a D, and an F sharp, respectively, okay? So there's your D chord, your D major. Pinky finger plays G, 8th fret of the B string. Okay, and the strumming would be the same. Okay, and then hitting that D note, okay, at the end. Reason why I'm playing it here, it's a little bit easier to get to the next chord. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So C add 9 here, I'm gonna play this part slowly. It took me a minute when I was listening back to the record to get this as good as I could for you guys. So it's gonna sound like this slowly. Okay, really beautiful descending chords here. So you're gonna get your 2nd finger, placing that on the 3rd fret of the A string C, and then your 3rd finger on the D note, okay? 3rd fret of the B string. Now, this is going to be our pivot point. You'll see this in a moment with the other 2 chords, okay? So we're gonna lightly brush this chord, and from there, B string, open G string, A string, and B string. Just like that. Again. Now, I kind of like to hybrid pick this. So you can do that too, or you can use that with a pick for all of those parts. Up to you. For me, it's a little more free-flowing if I hybrid pick. And I use my finger to play that B string. Okay. Now that's going to be our picking pattern. All we're going to do next, leave the 3rd finger there, okay? That D note, don't move it. 1st finger is going to go to the B note, B as in boy. We know this to be at the 2nd fret of the A string. Strum the chord gingerly. And same thing, B string, G string, A string, and B string. Just like that. Let's do that again. Okay, so if we combine the 2 chords so far, G over B. Now, from there, 1st finger, move it now to the 2nd fret of that D string. Okay, so just like that. And it's going to sound like this. Okay, So that first finger, second fret of the D string, E, strum that chord through that A string, B string, and G string only. And that's it, okay? So I'll play through that part nice and slowly, and I encourage you, please play along. Just like that, one more time. Now the full part. Let's go ahead and do this together. Faster. Last time. Okay, so that's what's happening there in that intro, and we're going to see that intro again. So into the verse, pretty standard as far as the chords go. I'm going to throw in one thing that Mick Ronson does, which I think is really, really cool, and not too terribly hard to play and really makes a difference. So let's talk about the chords that are happening. It's going to be a G to a B minor, C to D, and then G to E minor, A to C, okay? And then that verse is going to repeat twice. So as far as the G chord goes, for those of you who don't know it, no problem. I'm going to show you. So first 4 fingers here, just like this. So we have our B note, we have our G note, our D note, and then our additional G, play all 6 strings, okay? We talked about the G chord a few moments ago. So we got that down, okay? But a good refresher always helps everybody. B minor, these 4, okay? So first finger across, okay? Again, those bottom 5 strings, tip of the first finger should be on that B note, second fret of the A string. Now, you're gonna get your second finger second finger on the 3rd fret. Second finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, which is D, okay? That's gonna be our flat 3 of the chord. 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the D string, F sharp, that is our 5, and then another B note there with our pinky finger, 4th fret of the G string. So strum all those. There's your B minor, okay? So pretty simple strumming here. So if we're curious, so down, down, up, down, up. So you can do that. So we've got G, then we go to B minor. Now we're gonna go to C major. So C, E, and G are our tonal centers. First 3 fingers, first finger on the 1st fret of the B string, second finger, 2nd fret of the D string, E, 3rd finger playing C, 3rd fret of the A string, strum from the A string downward. Okay, strum that out. And then we're gonna go to D major. Now, David Bowie was very fond of bar chords. So this is an easier way to play that progression. I know some of you don't like to play bar chords so much, which is fine. So I'm gonna show you the bar chord version, maybe a little closer to what David Bowie did. So we've got G, B minor as is, then to C, what you're gonna do there, you're gonna bring your first finger up a half step, okay, covering the 3rd fret of the A string through that high E string, 3rd finger across the 5th fret of the D string, G string, and B string, respectively. If we're talking notes, G, and then we have C, and then E. Okay, and then to play the D chord, which you did a few moments ago. Okay, for that part, just bring that up a whole step. Why? Because C and D are a whole step apart. So if we were doing bar chords, it would sound like this. C bar chord. And here it is with open chords, minus the B minor. I'll leave it up to you. Where do you like to play those chords? All right, so the next set, it's gonna be a G major. We've done it already. To an E minor. Okay, very friendly beginner chord for my beginners. Second finger, third finger. Let me show you how to play it. So second finger, second fret of the A string B, third finger, second fret of the D string E, strum all 6 strings, E, G, and B are gonna be our tonal centers here, okay? From there, we're gonna go to A major. I like to play it this way. Second, third, and fourth finger. Okay, we're gonna squish them in the second fret of the D string, G string, and B string respectively, strumming from the A string, so A, C sharp, and E. Okay, and then to C. So the second half of the verse would sound like this: G, to E minor, to A, and then our C chord. Now, if you wanted to play those as bar chords, the G and the E minor, let's leave them up here. The A, okay, you can play all the way up here at the 5th fret. So first finger across the 5th fret of all 6 strings, third finger on the 7th fret of the A string E, pinky finger A, 7th fret of the D string, and then C sharp with your second finger. Okay, that's gonna be at the 6th fret of the G string. Strum through all those strings, and then we go back to C. So it would sound like that. So I'll give you a pass of the chords as open chords, and then the progression as the bar chords in the stylings of Mr. David Bowie. So we've got open chords here. I'll do them as bar chords. Here we go. Open G and open E minor. Okay, so that's what's happening there. Now, that's the rhythm part. We're gonna throw in a Mick Ronson line here. So this happens right after that first C chord in the first pass of the verse. So I'll play it through and then I'll show you guys how to play it. I think it's really awesome. So it sounds like this. Okay, and then it goes into that G, E minor, A to C progression. So how we do this, we've got our C chord. So our third finger is already at the C note that we need. What we're gonna do next, we're gonna go C, B, C, okay? Climbing up, C sharp to D, okay? So third fret, second fret, third fret, fourth fret, fifth fret of the A string. Our notes, C, B, C, C sharp, D. Let's do that again. Pretty straightforward. From there, you're gonna slide that D note to E at the 7th fret of the A string, then bring it back to D, just like that. Now, as far as this next part, it goes from A to B. Now, on the record, this line happens on electric guitar, by the way. Sometimes he bends it to G, and other times it sounds like it's slid. So mix it up, you know, have fun with it. So either one, or, and then back to your G. So let's do that in the context with the chords. All right, so here we go. So top of the verse, G, B minor, C, okay. Now, once we get to that G leading into the E minor, he does a cool walk down and walk up. So we've got and then leading into the A, which is kind of neat. So what's happening there? G, so walking in or walking back, G, F sharp, 2nd fret of the E string. Let that E minor ring, okay? From there, E, G sharp, or no, G, then to G sharp, and you would play it like this. Just want to make sure you saw it. And then to A, okay? And just do that open or play the bar chord, up to you, okay? And then leading into that C, all right? So that's what's happening there. I'll play through both of those parts. We're blending, okay? Some rhythm playing and some cool like little lead lines. All right, so here we go. And I'll slow it down just a little bit, so follow along. Here we go. Riff 1. Like that, okay? And that's gonna lead us into our chorus. So our chorus, nice big power chords here. So let's look at that first part. So it's gonna be an A minor, G to an F, and we'll do some cool stuff with that E note. So what we've got here is the A minor. So it's just like A major, but we make that C sharp right here, we're gonna make it a C, and all we do is lift that out of the way. So there's C sharp, and there's C at the 5th fret of that G string. Okay, just like that. If you need a little help, put that 2nd finger on top of your 1st to make that bar, and that chord nice and crisp, because we do wanna hear all of those notes. So down, up, down, okay? Then slight mute with this part of the hand. From there, we're gonna go to G, okay? Just like that, again. Now, from here, we have F. I know this is a dreaded chord for many of you, but I promise, it gets easier the more you do it. So this is a good song to utilize that and building the strength of that F major chord, okay? So what we're gonna do here, we're playing, okay, that nice little big strong chord. From there, I'm mainly focusing on those top 3 strings, okay, to get that kind of chugging part. I'm not playing the full chord here. Again, I'm just thinking like really big. So all you're doing there, you're lifting that 1st finger to make sure that we hear that E note. And then you go back to that G chord, okay? And then this repeats again. So sounds like this slowly. So from there, so that happens 3 times. When we go to that G chord, instead of going back to the A minor, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go to D major as a bar chord, okay? So for 2 bars, okay? And then we go to E major. So we know that D and E are a whole step apart. So D major is built up of D, F sharp, and A. Okay, and then we're gonna go to E, G sharp, and B, which builds up that E chord. We do want to play these as bar chords. Okay, 7th fret is where that 1st finger is, and then 9th fret of the D string, G string, and B string respectively for that 3rd finger. If you're not there right now, it's fine. You could do this, okay, okay? It's not gonna sound quite the same, okay? Because the inversions of the notes are a little different, but you can do that. Although the bar chords sound a little better in my opinion, okay? So the whole chorus sounds like this. I'll abridge the A minor G section just so you can hear it all together. Here we go. Okay, so you'll hear, I'll give you the version of playing with the open chords. You'll hear how it's a little different sonically, so. A little different, same chords, still sounds cool. So I'll leave that up to you at where your level is right now, okay? So totally up to you. From there, after that chorus, we're gonna go into that main riff. So since we got there, let's go ahead and put all these parts together, okay? So we've got the intro, let's do the verses, and then we're gonna go into that chorus, okay? And that's most of the song, okay? We have a little kind of different ending, but I'll play that for you in a second. But let's go through this so you guys have it down. And again, thumbs up on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help the cause. So here we go, intro. Okay, verse. Let's do the riff. G, walk down E minor. Into the chorus, A minor, big. One more time. Intro, here we go. G. Okay, so that's what's happening there. Yes, good stuff. So we go through the song, right? We got the chorus, and then there's a verse 3, and then that main riff after that chorus. And on the fourth time of the, okay, what happens is we're gonna go to that C add 9, okay, so that, and let it ring, and then that G chord, okay, and just let it go. Strum it once if you like, okay, make it really big. Make it a bar chord, make it an open chord, but that's the song. This is so fun to play. I can't believe I haven't done this one already. So I did most of this on acoustic, but again, there is electric parts on here. So, you know, some of this stuff you can kind of pick and choose, and there's some cool harmonics that he does and some cool little riffs. So I encourage you to like give it a listen. It's a really fun song and super fun to play on acoustic. So I had a blast with this today. And as always, want to thank my friends at Fishman for helping me do these week after week. And most certainly, I want to thank all of you. Thank you all so much for tuning in and being so kind to each other in the comments. We are all students of the craft, including myself. I am constantly humbled by this instrument, and I'm learning more every day. So it's great to have you along on my musical journey too. If you are in Nashville, I am playing with my Nashville band on June 22nd at 3rd and Lindsay, so the year 2025. And it's going to be a blast. I would absolutely love to see you there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, and new music coming and all that good stuff. So as always,